Page 22, Smooth as Silk. Last piece in the book. Again, I use my process for learning a new piece of music, so I'm going to do that in this video. I like to look it over first. I see that it is 3 pages long. Okay. That means we got a page turn to deal with, so we'll talk about that. The treble and bass clef. No sharps or flats in the key signature. We appear to be in the key of C major, so make sure I can do the C major scale. I haven't been mentioning it, but really when you get this level, you should be doing the relative minor scale also. So when you're doing a key signature, you're doing the major and minor scale with the same key signature. You ought to be doing A minor also, both scales. There's a difference of opinion on that, but that's how I do it. 6/8 time, where an eighth note gets a count. Okay. Dotted quarter note, then it gets 3 counts. So we keep those in mind. Got accidentals, of course. Now let's take it sort of one hand at a time. I want to kind of make sure I understand what's going on here. In the right hand, we look at the first 4 notes in the right hand. You hear, here. Those 4 notes, that's simply an E minor chord in second inversion. It's an extended position of it. But that's the fingering for it, so that's the fingering I recommend. It's 4th finger on the G, not 3. Some people will teach 3. No, 4th finger on the G. Here. Then you can scrunch up and use 2. Here. You see, when I see these broken chords all in the music, I just simply play it the way I do the arpeggio, the broken chord in the arpeggio, unless there's something going on in the music where I need to adjust the fingering. So here, no, it's just here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And hold that down for 5 counts, and then scrunch up 2nd finger. 1, 2, 3, and that's tied. So let's look at the 3rd measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if that's throwing you, take out the ties and play all the notes temporarily. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what it is without. But then when you can get that, then put the tie back. Just hang on to the note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then you do it again. 1, 2, 3. And then lift up. Same rhythm we had before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're off. So you come off on just an 8th note. Yeah. Now measure 13, you're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in measure 15, you see the RH? That's telling you the right hand is going to play those notes. The dotted line tells you how much the right hand is playing. And you're down here. 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And then the left hand plays the last note. Okay, measure 17. Now your bass clef. You get a bass clef. Now I'm down here, staying down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not bad. And during the rest, you come up here. All of the notes with the grace note is this here. Now I'll do the grace notes later. Right now I'm just playing the main note, so it's here. So again, I measure 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And for measure 20, I prefer this fingering rather than this fingering. I find that rather awkward. I prefer this, so I'm going to use 2 and 4 on those. Here, you can use fingering in the book if you want, but I prefer this one. And then going on, measure 21. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and it's here. E flat G. Hopefully you know what those notes are. Then measure 23. They say 1, 3. I prefer 2, 3. I just can bring the 2nd finger down. This way the thumb is ready for the B natural coming up. Here. I prefer that than using thumb on both. You can use thumb on both if you want, but I prefer not to. Here. And then you go do that some more, huh? Let's go down to measure 31. It is a B, an E flat, and a G. And then you get the E natural. Okay. Not a problem, I hope you got that? Okay, no problem. Left hand, well, you're moving around some. 1, 2, 3, and you got a bunch of rest to come up here. And F and E flat. 1, if you don't want your hand up here, you got to do that. I'll leave that up to you and the size of your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's beat 6 and it's tied. 1, then lift up and come down. And then measure 7, it's an A flat, an E flat, and an F. And then here, these come down. And then lift up and come down. And same thing, okay. Let's go over to page 24. It's measure 45, starting there. Let's cover these chords and make sure we got them. You have a C and an E flat. You don't want to be up in here, you gotta do that, whichever, that's fine. And then next chord, you're simply adding a B flat to it. And next chord, the B flat changes to an A flat. And then you get an F sharp. The C and the E flat stay there. And then measure 49, you change here. And then put the hands together. This should be smooth as silk, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Piece of cake. Oh. Again, I'm more concerned with when do the fingers, the hands go down at the same time and which fingers are being used. Third measure, you're here. And then here, the left hand's tied, and now both hands play. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Hold that down as you do that. Get your left hand up here, ready to go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. See, that right hand comes up, and that's important. Let's go to measure 17. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I play the D, the left hand comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm playing this, I gotta get the left hand where it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? Well, let's look. The left hand you play in the first 3 beats. Measure 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. So we want to do that. Lift up on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the right hand's doing its thing, and they're overlapping just a little bit. So make sure you're lifting up in each hand. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the beat here, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, they're overlapped for one beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now they're together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you're overlapping, and it's kind of important. I guess it's important. He wrote it that way. It must be important. Now, once I have an idea of the fingering and the rhythm and all, and I can go through it slowly, get rid of the hesitation so it's a steady beat throughout, that's fine. And then we'll think about the articulation. The slurs and staccatos and the grace notes too. I do that. I do the ornaments when I do the articulation. That's how I do it. You do it any way you want. But here I'm going to connect all this and then lift up. I have to lift up here to move, but I'm connecting this. Lift up. You're just lifting up between the slurs here. Measure 13 here. Connect all this. And that last note, that's a staccato. Hinge at the wrist up. I'm on the key and I'm bouncing off. And this comes up as you play it. Now, the measure 17. Now the grace note. It's a real quick note right before the note. People don't agree on how it should be played. It's interpretation. I don't want to get into that discussion. Play it however your teacher tells you to play it. Or however. A lot of people will play it right before the beat. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Other people will play it like me, right on the beat. So 1, 2, 3. And now play these together, rather than its interpretation. I can't say one way's right and one way's wrong, but there are a lot of people who will. They will insist their way is the correct way. Go away. Not interested. It's up to the performer. What do you like? Its interpretation. How do you feel this should be? When I was in college and studying piano, I had to do all of them on the beat. They were like cachetures. And a cacheture and a grace note look the same. It's just that they're interpreted differently. So I had to do all of them on the beat, and that's what I did. So when I get this, I play it with a here. And it's real quick. I mean, you could almost crunch it, which means you play it at the same time and lift it up. That's another way of interpreting grace notes here. I kind of like it a little before though. I'd like to hear it. So again, measure 17. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Now remember, 1, 2, 3, up. They overlap one beat. It's important. Now at the bottom of page 24, here, measure 49 here. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. And lift up on 1 here. That stays down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, off. The last one's not staccato. Watch out on the articulation. As far as the speed goes, it says moderately quick, but it has to be accurate. So don't go faster than accurate. And how fast moderately quick is, again, it has to be accurate. Well, now they've added pedal. I kind of like it without pedal myself. And always learn a piece without pedal first, so you're making sure the hands are doing and you can hear exactly what's going on, because the pedal will cover things up. No, we don't want that. So at the beginning, I push the pedal down right after I play the note. I'm going to lift the pedal with the hand so I hear the phrase. Again, push the pedal down after the note. Change the pedal after the note. And lift the pedal up as I play the note. And on measure 12, I don't want to smear them. So we lift it, but keep the left hand down. Measure 13, note first, and then C, the pedal comes up to clear all that out. Again, measure 13. Here. And then measure 17, of course, we don't pedal. You get the idea. Until you get to measure 23, we're going to pedal these. And lift it up. I like a little silence in there, but if you don't want the silence, lift the pedal up as you play the F. If you want the silence, lift the pedal up with the hands. It's interpretation. So if I play no silence, this is measures 23 and 24. No silence is here. So there's always sound. But if I want a little silence in there, I lift the pedal up a little sooner. Just a speck of silence in there. Which do you want? I don't know. It's sort of the same as you're going to get on some of these others when you do that. Here, if you want to lift the pedal up and get the silence in the left hand, or leave the pedal down until you play it to connect it, that's interpretation. You try both ways and you pick one. Maybe one time you do it one way and another time you do it another or whatever. Now, measure 45, here we're only pedaling the left hand, and you say, well, why? And that is because we only want the overtones for the left hand mainly. We're not putting overtones in the right hand so much. We want the overtones to go with the left hand. Now when you do it, you're going to get overtones in the right hand when you push it down, but the first 3 beats, it's a dry, clean sound in the right hand each time. We want that. And it's the left hand, we want overtones. You push it down right up the notes, so it's here. And the no pedal at the end, of course. That's sort of the idea with the pedal. Now we have to talk about this page turn. How are you going to get the page turned? Well, there's different methods we can use for this, and sometimes we do practice page turns. Oh yeah. What you don't do is mess up the beat. I've heard people performing and do this. For reading music, they'll stop, turn the page, and then start in again. Please don't do that. Ugh. The beat's got to go on. No matter what happens, that beat's got to go on. So we got to figure out how to get the page turned with the beat going on. Well, ideally, you memorize the piece. If not, then maybe you memorize page 24, just a little bit of it. Then you don't have to worry about it. Well, if you don't have that, then maybe somebody turns the page for you. That's handy to have a page turner. Well, if there's nobody around, you got to turn the page yourself. Okay, you got to figure it out. Now, we don't want to leave out notes if we can help it. So if there is anywhere where there's a bunch of rests for either hand, then we can turn the page there. So you may only have to memorize a few measures. So you get to the point where there's rests. So whichever hand is resting can turn the page right quick. Here, you don't get more than a 1 measure rest. Well, if you can turn the page in 1 measure, that's fine. Then either memorize the last 2 measures on page 23 here. Memorize that much, and you can turn the page while you're playing the measure 34 here. Immediately, actually, you're going to measure in half here. Turn the page right quick, and then you memorize and then you're already on page 24, ready to go. And there's also a measure and a half, a rest on top of page 24, where maybe you want to wait and turn the page there. So you simply memorize the first measure or so on page 24, and then you can turn the page then that way. So if possible, we don't want to leave out notes. Now, if you do have to leave out a note or so, it cannot be a melody note. The melody's got to be there. You got to keep this right hand going no matter what happens. So it's what the left hand, you're going to leave out whatever notes you got to get it turned in the left hand, then you get back in as quickly as you can. Now hopefully you can do it during the rest. You don't have to leave out notes. Let's play it together very slowly and double check our notes and rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics. I'll try and do the articulation. Now I can't do the page turn. So I'm going to do pages 22 and 23. I'm going to stop, turn the page, and then I'll count in again. Now we'll do page 24 and finish it up. So I'm going to give us 6 counts because there's 6 beats in a measure. Just really, really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. three. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 6, 2. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 2. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Stop and turn the page. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Rest, rest, rest.